Yo, brother, it's time for us to start talking the real, man. We've been sugarcoating too much. We've got to start calling everything out for what it is.
Hey guys, well, it's new wheel time, and today I have the EX30, 2 boxes, the batteries and the wheel. And that means this was airshipped to me direct from Begode. And today this is courtesy of Liam. Thanks again, Liam, if you're watching this. I really appreciate it. Liam is a local Southern California rider. I've known Liam since he began, which is at least 2 years. Boy, maybe even 3 years now. Time goes by. And again, Liam is a big member of the Southern California community. I think everyone knows him. Great guy. And against my better judgment, he's decided to go into the business of selling wheels. Right now, it's only Begode and Extreme Bow, and he's getting a big shipment in soon at really low prices. Now, if you're going to buy a wheel from Liam, this is the kind of person that you are. You fit this description. You like to work in your own wheels. You feel totally comfortable on that. You're okay receiving parts, doing your own work. You don't need a lot of hand holding. If you do need a lot of hand holding, it's your first wheel. It's probably best to stick with a company like E-Wheels. I think Liam would probably say the same thing. But if you're been around wheels for a long time, you're looking for your third, fourth wheel, Liam might be your guy. So see links in the description to how to get a hold of him. And like I said before, if you trust me, you can trust Liam with your money. And if you have any troubles working with Liam, let me know. I know where he lives. All right, with that, let's open this battery box. I imagine there are 4 battery packs in here. And hopefully hardware to install them, or maybe the hardware might be in the wheel box. And that's it. I have to tell you, I'm a fan of the modular design of all the Begode wheels now. This feels solid. Really nice. Love these new metal cases. The charger looks like the same basic 3 amp 134 volt charger. Oh well, one of these days they're going to give us at least a 5 amp charger when they sell, after they finish selling all of those. You have their Allen wrench they always give us. Standard pump. A loose, this is a bolts. That's for the battery. Batteries must have the bag of hardware must have opened up. Certificate of compliance, very important. It's the EX30 is compliant. Spec sheet. One thing I like to look at is, what do they say the tilt back alarm is 96 volts. I will be testing that. Hopefully that's true. That's good though. That's, I think, if I remember, that's, I can't remember. I think that's 3 volts per cell, which is a good level. All right, let's see if we can get this out. So light without the batteries. Well, that's interesting. I did not realize that the pad is one piece, because my intention was to leave the bottom part on and to put my own pads on the top. So I'll reach out to Liam to see if he's okay if I can cut this off. And this reminds me of the old days when wheels were so light. It feels so strange to be able to lift up a wheel like this. So bring in the camera and give you a closer look. Well, if you are familiar with the current Gotway design, you just about know everything you need to know about this wheel. And again, I really like this modular design. Everything is just out in the open, no closed shells, super easy to get into the control board. You've probably seen the pedals before. These are their new style. I'll give them a shot. Just don't quite have as many spikes as would be ideal, but we'll see how that goes. I don't know, everything, it looks just looks like my Master or my Master Pro, more or less, right? Checked all the bolts, everything looks tight, so it should be easy to install the batteries. But let me show you one thing I noticed with the tire. I want you to pay attention to the size of the bead here between the rim and the tire as I rotate it. Right here it gets large and then falls back to the normal. And when I rotated the tire at the beginning, I could see that there was a bulge as it rotated around. So this would not make for a great ride. So I'm going to deflate the tire, massage it a little bit, and see if I can get that out of there. So these are the kind of things you should check when you get a new wheel. Quite often these tires are not put on the rim perfectly. While fixing the tire was much quicker than I thought it would be. All I did is remove all the air from the tire, went around, just squeezed the tire, then inflated it in about 3 different steps. Each I'd stop a little bit, go around, squeeze, fill it up. Got about 30 psi in there, and looks great. As we're talking about tires, I do want to point out this is the CST tire. I know a lot of you hate the CST tire, but I'm less picky about tires. I'm sure when Liam gets this wheel back, he will immediately throw this tire away, but I will gladly ride it. But also, I wanted to show you a feature of this new Begode design, which I really like for tire changes. Let me pull the camera in. If you want to change the tire on this wheel, or Master Pro, I'm not sure about the EX30. I suspect it's the same. You do not have to remove much of the wheel to get the tire out, and you do not have to disconnect anything from the control board. What you're going to want to do is first remove these 4 bolts on the side of the wheel without the wire, the phase wires on it. So you, in this case, the other side of this wheel. So you're going to remove those, flip it over in this configuration. You're going to remove the 3 that you can get to. You might have to remove the pedals to get your wrench down there. That varies. You're going to have to remove these 4 screws so you can get these tabs out of the way to allow the cable to freely move. Then this one battery you will most likely have to disconnect only from the frame, and you should be able to just move the battery over and lay it on this battery resting here, and then you'll have access to this bolt with your wrench. So you remove these 4 bolts, then you should be able to just slide the motor out this way, and you'll have full access to be able to move the tire from the rim and then put everything back. Before I put the battery packs on, I want to review the details of this wheel. I tell you, I just love the aesthetics of this design from Begode. Look at this rim. Little details, you know, the color that they added to the rim to match the blue pads, even though I'm not going to be installing the pads. I really love the look of this rim. This new light assembly, it's smaller than what I see on all their other wheels up to this point. Same basic design. Again, I really like it. It has a more elegant look to me right now. Smaller, more refined in my eyes. Another view of the upper chassis. Everything is bolted together and modular, and in my mind easily fixed. You could even replace some of these components with your own custom ones if you wanted to do something. I'm not sure what, but just everything's modular. I really love it, and the quality and the stuff seemed really tough to me. Maybe it wouldn't survive a 50-mile-per-hour crash, but I think it'll survive any little falls that I'm likely to take. A view of the shock assembly. Again, I love the finish on everything. It's a matte black. Just to me, it screams quality. Time to remove the seat so I can get into the control board area to install the batteries. let me show you how this is weatherproofed. We have these grommets that the phase wires pass through here. Another channel for where the lights and the beeper come out. And those screws which secure this. So this is a clear plastic that covers, so it overlaps the side of the case. And there's no gasket there, but it's pretty tight fit. I think you'd have to be in some kind of horrendous downpour for water to flow up here and then around this edge into the control board area. The screws that secure that plastic, they have these little, looks like kind of a silicone washers, which I think keep water from passing in. Personally, I would still put a little shower cap over here, backpack shower cap, water. You can buy these for $10 on Amazon that fit over this. That's what I would do if I were riding in a lot of rain. But to me, it's pretty good. Nothing's going to get in from underneath. Batteries are connected. Let's apply power and see what happens. Looks good. Let's button it up. Okay, it is up and running. Rode it up and down the driveway a little bit. Shock is good. I got shock right now about 250 psi. And I might lower it a little bit. It feels maybe a little on the firmer side. But yeah, actually I like the kickstand on this guy. Actually much more stable versus the Master, which just wants to flip over with that stock kickstand. So that's an improvement. All right, what do I need to do next? I need to install the pads, and I don't want to install the stock pads. I need to install some panels on here which will allow me to put any pads I want, and I'm going to shape them a bit, give them a little style, I suppose. They're going to go up here to cover this area. They'll be attached with Velcro, and hopefully it will look okay. I know there are other, at least I know for sure, Clark Pads is getting very close to releasing a whole panel set up, kind of like what I have on my Master Pro. But that doesn't exist yet, and I need something now. So I'm going to make my own, and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, it's the next day. I have sketched out some designs, possible designs for the side panels. Don't worry about the scale. These edges aren't actually going to be on the edge of the tires. So this is the Begode EX30 and a few designs I've come up with, and this is one I'm going to go with. So the sides will be splayed out a bit. I'm probably going to put foam padding on the batteries that'll follow the outline of the front and the back. And this will be a big surface area to put pads wherever I want. Now that I have the design, I'm going to use this piece of cardboard to transfer the design to this and fit it to the side of the EX30, making any adjustments as necessary. I can cut additional pieces of cardboard, tape them on, and once I get perfect fit, I'll be able to trace this onto my final material. All right, I have it cut and fit, and I think it looks how I wanted it to look. Let's see from the front. There definitely are some gaps in here, but I will be filling that with foam support pieces to keep it rigid. Since one of my hobbies is woodworking, I will be making this out of tempered hardboard, 1/8 inch thick. It's really tough stuff. And when I'm done shaping it and fitting it, I'll be painting it with flat black paint for weather resistance. The side is almost complete. I have finished fitting all the foam pieces around the perimeter. Now you'd seen me put some Velcro on this part, so I was going to have Velcro on the battery packs on the sides, on the front and the back, to help hold everything in place. But a little experimentation, I realized it would probably be almost impossible for me to get this on with Velcro here and on the sides, and then to get it off would be probably impossible without destroying everything. So I removed the Velcro from the side of the battery pack, and all the foam is fitted so it's tied up against the batteries, so any impacts on this foam get transmitted through the foam right to the batteries. So there's good support on the foam. And then the indoor-outdoor carpet tape, which I use, I'll put a link in the description if you're interested, works exceptionally well with this foam. I always clean the foam surfaces with lacquer thinner first. Let it dry for a minute, apply the tape, and if you try and remove this, it'll tear the foam. So it's really nicely done. All I have to do now is clean the battery packs with, again, lacquer thinner. I'm going to put the industrial strength Velcro on these battery packs. That seems to hold okay. Put Velcro here, and this side will be complete. Velcro installed. The moment of truth. Not that there's any doubt. Feels pretty good. And again, once you ride the wheel for a little while, you know, your legs pressing up against the shell, periodically it kind of just turns the Velcro into really solid connection. All right, repeat the same on the other side. Okay, the wheel is complete. I put Velcro on outside. I decided to mount my Grizzly flow pads, the large size. These were on the V13 and they worked really well. They also happen to be the only available set I have. All my others are used in my other, let's see, I think I have 11 wheels right now. Anyway, they should work good. I'll refine the fit once I start riding this. I know the look might not be to everyone's liking, but it's my wheel, so I'm gonna have fun with it, and I like the styling. I like the protection it gives in the front and the back, and the side, and then with the pads. It's pretty good protection, I think. And now some of you might think that these hard edges up here sticking out and high are gonna interfere with your thigh and bother you. But this is kind of the same setup that I have on the Master Pro with the Clark pad system. Also with my Master, I have the Grizzly full complete setup, and that also has a kind of an edge that sticks up like this. And in reality, it just doesn't, at least it doesn't bother me, and it doesn't seem to bother other people who have it. Now on my particular wheel here, excuse me, these front top sections of the panel are actually flexible. So there's a lot of give So it even makes it more comfortable. All right, so the next EX30 video you will see from me, I will be riding this wheel. I'm really looking forward to putting it through its paces for range, taking up in the mountains, trail riding. It's going to be fun. And for all you speed freaks out there, don't worry. Dawn will also be getting this wheel, and she'll be putting it through its paces, comparing it against her Master and probably the Sherman Max. So a lot of cool videos upcoming. All right, guys, until next time, safe riding.